Mr. Mayor, City Council, before I start, I have one question for you all, and it's a pretty important one. After hearing Mr. Van Cleve, do you all still stand behind the report from your chief and still support him in the report that he has given you? And it's a pretty important question based on whether I continue or stand down.
That will have to be since time we just listened.
Then I shall continue. When I last came before you, I had high hopes that you would understand the abuses that had taken place and would resolve that this situation would most likely never occur again, and the officers responsible would be dealt with accordingly. Sadly, when I read your chief's report, I realized that that was not going to be the case. When I was a police officer, I saw minor cover-ups. Most of the time, the guilty parties were found out and justice was served. This, however, is one of the most blatant cases of a cover-up that I've ever seen. One where the evidence is there, and everyone in authority, including you, all turn your heads to the sides and do the whistle and shuffle and pretend it's nothing. I kept asking myself over and over, why? Why would you do this? And at 1:30 this morning, it finally hit me. You don't know us. You don't interact with us day to day. We're not your friends. You don't care. If we were your next door neighbors, people you had to pass in the hallway or see at lunch every day, like the chief, I'm sure that the outcome would have been a lot different. With us, all you want is for this to go away. A couple of weeks of heat, some bad press, it'll all go away and you go back to your happy little city. I've got some bad news for you. It's not going to happen. From now on, your police department is under a microscope. I'm encouraging all citizens to visit their local Radio Shack or similar store and pick up one of these, a pocket recorder. From now on, if one of your police officers crosses the line, it's going to be recorded. No more he said, he said. No more complaints to the police department or to the mayor's office. The next time a law-abiding citizen has their civil rights violated by one of your officers, there will be an immediate phone call made to the Department of Justice and a complaint filed for a civil rights violation under color of law. And by the way, when a police officer is involved in that, if convicted, it's 10 years in a federal penitentiary. The citizens of Manassas should take note of this because your inaction on this matter could cost them tens of millions of dollars in lawsuits, which they will pay for in higher taxes. You may refuse to do the right thing and straighten this out, but the citizens of Virginia and the citizens of Manassas will straighten it out. We will not allow a police department run amok to continue unchecked. Thank you.
Can you just give us your street address for the record?
City of Manassas all the time, sir.
You can just give us your...
Mayor, Council, we had a very large group here last time, and I'm sure you remember saying that was the largest attendance you'd ever had. You listened very carefully, but I don't think you heard. And we talked about people's rights, abuse by the police. A lot of ignorant things that were done that night. You listened, but you didn't hear. And it struck me that contrary opinions don't you listen to. You're going to believe what you're going to believe, regardless of what we do. But there is one thing that politicians always listen to. Now, last time we were here, after the meeting, about 40 of us went to IHOP. We all walked in carrying our guns. The manager had a panic attack because he just let half his staff go for the night, not because we were carrying. He didn't want to watch our money walk out. Well, I've been here twice, and I brought a visual aid. Lost wages from the 2 days I had to take off to come here, transportation costs, everything else. It cost me about $500 to speak for my 3 minutes. Last time I was here, I left a $20 tip at IHOP. That waiter got more money in that one shift, and then he'd have the rest of the month, I guarantee you. I'm not leaving a damn dime in Manassas ever again. I got gas in my car, I got food in my car, I'm out of town. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Mayor, Councilman, one of your neighbors, very much enjoy visiting Manassas, and will continue to do so. I don't need to lecture you. You're all very citizens of high upstanding, so there's no issue here. But all of us have bosses. All of us need to be reminded sometimes. Fundamental to our way of life is the trust between the citizens and those who serve them. And you have done that very well. So I would urge you, once again, to examine that responsibility and to live up to it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, I think this gentleman. Thank you. You can give us your address.
Just here concerned, I'm a concerned citizen of Manassas, and I'm just really concerned about the police really not knowing the law, and then trying to coerce the guys into breaking the law, actually. That's a big concern of mine. I just, if I get pulled over, I just really don't know what to expect now. So, that's a couple things I wanted to point out about the report. I like the report citing the, I forget what TV station it was that had a Capo Joe D'Agostino, manager of the restaurant. Because if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, the no loitering sign is tagged. So there is gangs in Virginia. Is that a gang sign? I don't know. Another point, I was walking actually from Tony's after I placed my order for some pizza. I like Tony's. And I was walking down the auto parts store. Somebody asked me for money. So basically what I did was I just said, no thanks, and kept walking on. Well, they decided to follow me, and they decided to scream at me. Nothing really vulgar or obscenities, but, it concerned me a little bit. They were basically saying, why don't you want to listen to me, what's going on type of deal. So Joe had mentioned, why do you need a gun at his restaurant? Those are the reasons why I need a gun at his restaurant. Thank you.